Shalom, this week's Sedra is Sedra Miketz. People costume themselves for different reasons. People want to impress other people, so they act in ways that are inconsistent with their true nature. Other people disguise themselves literally. People will put on clothes they don't find comfortable just because they're fashionable and they want to impress others. The character flaws that all humans share cause all people to masquerade themselves as something they're not. In this week's Torah portion, we find a story about Yosef costuming himself. This episode provides a lesson to all people about disguising themselves. In our Torah portion, we read, Yosef was the second in command of the land. It was he who dispensed rations to all the people of the land. And Yosef's brothers came, bowed low to him, with their faces to the ground. When Yosef saw his brothers, he recognized them, but he acted like a stranger towards them and spoke harshly to them. He asked them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan, to procure food." Even though Yosef recognized his brothers, they did not recognize him. In their commentary to these psukim, Rashi and Ramban discuss the nature of Yosef's disguise. Rashi explained that Yosef made himself look like a stranger to his brothers by the way he conducted conversation, speaking harshly to them, as the pasuk said. Rashi explained the brothers didn't recognize Yosef because when Yosef left them, he didn't have a beard, whereas now he had grown a beard. Why does Rashi say that Yosef disguised himself by talking harshly, but then says the brothers didn't recognize him, not because of his tone, but because of his beard? If Rashi was correct that Yosef's disguise was his harsh way of talking, wouldn't it make more sense that the brothers didn't recognize Yosef because of his harsh tone? Ramban took a different approach than Rashi and wrote, Yosef made himself look strange, not care, it says, to them by putting an Egyptian headdress on his head and a covered part of his face, disguising himself. Rashi's opinion, says the Ramban, is not correct. Rambam wrote that a wise person is recognized through different behaviors. Just as the wise man is recognized through his wisdom and his temperaments, and in these he stands apart from the rest of the people, so too he should be recognized through his actions, in his eating, drinking, intimate relations, in relieving himself, in his speech, manner of walking, and dress, in the management of his finances and his business dealings. All of these actions should be exceptionally becoming and befitting. Rambam continued and he said, a Torah sage should not shout or shriek while speaking like the cattle and wild beasts, nor should he raise his voice overly much. Instead, he should speak gently to all people. A Torah sage's clothing should be attractive and clean. It is forbidden that a stain or the like be found on his garment. He should not wear regal garb, which draws everyone's attention, nor the dress of the poor, which shames its wearers, but attractive garments of the middle range. Rambam explained that how a person acts, speaks, and even dresses reflects the type of person they hold themselves to be around others. This isn't the matter of ego, but of dignity. A person who respects themselves will dress and speak in a manner that mirrors that self-image. Rashi and Ramban disagree if Yosef maintained that the best way to disguise his identity was by changing his tone, which would show he was a boor who couldn't speak in a refined manner, or by changing his appearance, which would broadcast his station in society. The lesson to take from this is how a person today should reflect their own values and status. And an important lesson. Shabbat Shalom.